I know you're sick of this question, but so Ghost is dead. We said kill. Courtney, we need to know on Crew Has It
Yeah,
because
because they asked me, and I'd be like, yes, the nigga died. And they're like, no, he's not. He's coming back. I'm like...
Here's how I'm going to answer that. There was no Ghost RIP, like the RIP assets that they used to do after people died.
Yeah.
And there is more story to tell.
All right, so before I even started or even finish my sentences, yo, you guys gotta subscribe. You know, share, turn on all notifications, cause it's gonna get crazy right now. So, Courtney Kit was on the Crew Has It, right? Did a little podcast and just talking about some things, right? And the one thing that obviously that drew everyone's attention was the part where she mentioned about Ghost, and basically there was no silhouette, there was no RIP, right? And there's still more to the character and more to the story. So, I mean, you know how it is. You know how it is where, us fans, if there's, I could see if there was like a full conclusion of, okay, he's dead, that's it, then everyone could get on with their lives, they can move along. But, when there's no confirmation, I mean, okay, him dying at the end would pretty much be confirmation, but the fans, they want more. Like, we need like an RIP sign to conclude that he's actually dead and stuff, right? So, it's quite interesting that she kind of said that, though, because I'm like, okay. Because the one thing that a few people has actually mentioned and talked about, which kind of like makes sense and stuff, it's like Courtney Kit would have never had said the right conclusion of Ghost's death. Like, like I said before, like an RIP sign. And the only reason I can think of that because of the spinoff shows, the idea of Ghost coming back to either Power Book 2 Ghost or Power Book 4 Force keeps people tuning in each night. It's a good marketing strategy when you think about it. But like I said in my previous videos, why keep saying Ghost is dead, Ghost is dead? If the man is already dead, why keep talking about him and bringing his name up? I understand Tommy because of the story. Only way I see Ghost returning back to power is if the ratings start to dip. So far it hasn't, and people will still see more of the Ghost story, which we will see in Raising Kanan. But the question is, how much of the story will we see in Raising Kanan? Because Kanan is 16 years old, I believe, and we do know that later Breeze and Kanan will be running the streets together and stuff, right? So it's like, when you put everything into a perspective of the character of Ghost and stuff, there is a lot of things that we need to see from him, like regarding like who killed his father, why his father died, potential brother, a lot of interesting things that we need to see. But I'm kind of wondering if we will even see them in Raising Kanan. It's just a dawn to me, because I'm like, if he's like between like 15 or 16 years old, right? Like, how much are we gonna go into? Like, are we gonna go all the way up into when he reaches like a young adult, or will he get to the point where he actually goes to jail? That's the one thing I was kind of like interested about. Like, will we be able to see that and stuff, right? Because here's the thing I'm gonna talk about when it comes down for like the timeline. And I want you guys to even tell me if I'm even right or wrong. This is based off the Power Wiki that I'm getting this from, so I don't even know if this is accurate, but it could be accurate and stuff, right? So within the timeline, Sean was born 1995, and Ghost and Tommy are in high school around this time, right? And Tariq was born in 2002, and if my math is correct, Ghost would have been 22 when Tariq was born. Sean died in 2005, so he was 20. So again, if my math is right, Kanan went to jail in 2004, and he gets out between either 2014 or 15. And Ghost was 24 when him and Tasha sent Kanan to prison. So Kanan would have been 29 when he went to jail, right? So if all of that is right and accurate, that means that Kanan probably doesn't go to jail until like way later on, because seeing how we still on season 2 of Raising Kanan, and there's a lot of things that they have to flesh out regarding like Kanan's story before we even get to like Ghost's story and stuff, right? Like we have to flesh out like, okay, we do know that Breeze is coming in season 2, so we know that. Then we have to figure out, okay, Kanan's other love interest, but we know that his love interest is gonna probably come like way later because Sean's mother was still alive in power. So we know that eventually, probably like either the late 80s or early 90s, he actually finds her and finds her to be a love interest, and then eventually he has Sean in 95, right? Because Kanan, well, I'm sorry, Ghost and Tommy, like I said, around that time they still was in high school. So if it makes sense, that means that around that time, like somewhere like in the late 90s, Ghost killed Breeze, right? And then he didn't send Kanan to jail until like 2004. Like, I'm hoping that they would do all of this in Raising Kanan, but I don't believe so. I believe that since it's Raising Kanan, I believe it's strictly going to be like his story. Like, yeah, we're going to probably see like maybe Ghost and Tommy, which we probably will. But I don't know if we would get like the full backstory of what actually happened. I mean, if we do, it'd be great, because all we need from like Raising Kanan, we need at least, because the Power has 6 seasons. Like I say, maybe 6-7 seasons from Raising Kanan, so that way we can flesh out everything of Kanan's part, and then eventually Ghost and Tommy, and then Ghost's father's portion. Because if Courtney kept saying that there's a lot more to Ghost's character, then obviously we will have to see it all in Raising Kanan. But if there's an odd chance that we do not see majority of everything in Raising Kanan, then a Ghost prequel would have to happen. It would have to be like when he, like him in his early 20s, like him and Tommy, like early 20s, and you know, Tariq, he had Tariq, and then Raina, and then eventually he has Yaz. Like all of it has to like add up and make sense like during the timeline and stuff. So that's why I kind of wanted to like talk about that too, because if it is possible that we don't get to see it, because we don't know what's going to be the finale of Raising Kanan. We really don't know what's going to be the finale. Is it going to be the finale of, okay, like him teaching, you know, Tommy and Ghost? Is it going to be that? Or is it just going to be, you know, okay, like this is his story, this is how he became who he became, and that's it. But I think that if it makes sense, of the conclusion of Raising Kanan would be him actually going to prison. So it would make sense, because around Power, I think it was season 5, like season 5 of Power, he died. So it would make sense for him to actually go to jail, and then it would like tie up to the story, because he went to jail for like 10 years for trumped up charges that both Tasha and Ghost put on him. So it would chronologically make sense of why he went to jail for those reasons and stuff, because Ghost didn't kill Kanan, he killed Breeze, but we still need to understand more of the reasons as to why Ghost killed Breeze. The only thing we know is just that he stood in his way, and Ghost had other plans and visions and stuff, but he stood in his way of that, and he killed them. Now, all of this talk and speculation about, you know, who killed like Ghost's father, I mean, again, it could have been anybody who could have done it. Either it been Kanan or Breeze, or I'm going to go with a wild pick. Like I said, it could have been any gang at the time, because Queens was hot. If it wasn't any other gang that could have done it, what if it was actually between either Ghost or his brother? What if it was one of, what if it was one of them, right? What if it was one of them? But I don't think it would have been Ghost. Maybe his brother. Who knows? Like I said, just speculation. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Like, what do you think about the timeline of everything that I just mentioned, between Sean being born, Kanan actually going to jail around 29, right? And the possibility too that if Ghost was 22 when he had Tariq, that technically Kanan is, you know, he is Uncle Kanan in a sense, because we would have seen the birth or been around when Tasha was pregnant, all right? Because I don't know, like I said, like the timeline is a little bit icky. It's like it's it's a little bit interesting, right? It's a little bit interesting. I'm trying to like flush it out here where for it to make sense for Kanan to like went to prison, and then both Tommy and Ghost rolling the streets around the 90s into like maybe like the early 2000s. That's when stuff started to pick up. And then on top of that, I forgot about what's his face? Lobos. I forgot about Lobos. Like, when did they actually meet Lobos around that time? Because I think there was a smidget of when Ghost told Tommy something about, I think, when Tasha was pregnant. Oh, right. Because I think Tommy was in a shootout, right? And then I think that's when Ghost was explaining that, yeah, Tasha was pregnant, but I think he went to go help Tommy. So, So, again, I'm thinking about the timeline. Like, it all has to make sense. And I think it does. But my math could be off. Again, this is all speculation. But, I mean, y'all got to add up the timeline to make it make sense. Because, again, what will actually happen to Kanan at the end? Like, he has to probably go to jail. I'm thinking, right? Out of everything that happened, if we do get the full backstory within Raising Kanan, rather than just be like, okay, we get all of Raising Kanan, smidges of Ghost and Tommy, a little bit about Ghost's father, and then that's it. Like, I don't think it'll be right. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will catch you all in the next one.